Hey YouTube, this is Dave here, and what I want to talk about today is the question, is life really an illusion? And so get some ideas about this in my meditations. It's a kind of a topic once you get into spirituality and meditation and metaphysical stuff that you might come across with varying opinions. And so what I want to do is try and break it down into two sections. The first section, I want to just try and make it the answer to that question rooted and grounded in practicality and how you can actually change your thought patterns and how you and your perception primarily, so you can actually make better decisions. And then the second part I'm just going to go on about is sort of the more esoteric metaphysical aspects of this question. Okay, so first of all, is life an illusion? So there is what is happening in front of you, and if you do not perceive what is happening in front of you in every moment in a proper manner, then you're going to make decisions that are not based in real time and real action. And so what I mean by this is not most people, but a lot of people can make decisions based on what they think is going to happen. And then that affects their actions and how they behave. For example, if you say want to go ask your boss for a raise, but then in your mind you think, okay, maybe I don't deserve the raise, or I'm never going to get that raise or whatever, so you just don't even bother asking, then at that point you can say, yes, life definitely has been an illusion. You are making a decision based on thought patterns and beliefs and ideas that exist only in your mind without actually trying to see what the result is. And so just kind of think about what happens throughout your day and how many times you make a decision, not only a decision, but most importantly an action, a behavior based on what you think is going to happen. So there's that part of it. Then there's also the past. And so we take what we think is going to happen in the future and project it onto the present moment. We also do the same with the past. So let's say, as an example, you had a fight or an argument with someone in the past, and person's not in your life for a while, and they come back. Now, part of you is stuck in that moment, and instead of seeing how and who the person is in the present moment, your mind goes back to that event, and you project that event onto the present moment, and then can behave accordingly to that person based on what happened in the past, which may not always have and cannot have been a positive thing. So you're already acting based on maybe not who they are now, but who they were. And now sometimes people don't change, but you have, and that can be a valid thing, but a lot of times people do change over time, and we don't see who they become and how they become a different person, which can change the dynamics in the interactions between the people. So practically speaking, when we take in our minds the future and put it onto the present moment, or something that happened in the past and put it on the present moment and act accordingly according to that, instead of seeing what is in front of us right here and now and behaving based on that, that is a way that people get caught up in the illusion. They get caught up in the illusion of what they think life is or happens. I don't know if I said that properly. So there's that. And now in any situation, with any person or scenario, there's always a positive and a negative. And to see a situation or a person properly, you always want to be right in the middle of the two, to see where the truth lies. And so if you are skewed to seeing only the positive in a person or situation, an example, our society does this a lot with celebrity, where you worship an idol, celebrities, and you're seeing them as only perfect people with perfect lives. That is a way that your mind skews reality a little bit into an illusion that is not based on reality. And the same thing can happen if you only ever see the negative in a situation or experience or a person. And so a good example of this is getting caught in political divide. And so you only ever look at who the opposing political party is, and you only ever see the negative in them. But both sides have their positive and their negative. And so to see the other side for who they are completely and truly, you have to see both sides of them. And so if you are in a situation where all you can see is negativity or all you can see is positivity, you're not coming from the center. And knowing the point for where you should be making your decision from. Because you're just going to project that negativity onto any situation around you. You're only going to see positivity in any situation around you, but then that's also not going to be grounded in reality, because bad stuff in life happens and you have to be able to see that and face it and cope with it. So for that question, is life an illusion, from a practical standpoint, you want to develop your perception so it is more true and accurate to what's going on. And so the way you do that, based on what I just said, there's two things. One, taking the future or the past and projecting it onto the present moment, acting based on what you think will happen or has happened. And two, only not being able to see both sides of what's going on in a situation or a person. Now, these may not always be immediately apparent. Sometimes you do have to go through an experience or be with a person for a while to see their other side, not just the side that they want you to see or you're projecting onto them. But over time, you should be able to kind of merge those concepts. And if you can do that, your perception of what's going on in life and the decisions you make are going to make your life a lot more, how do I say this? Your decisions will be more true based on what is actually really happening. And so that is my sort of practical thoughts on that question, is life an illusion? And I think for most people, this is the way that they should be approaching this question, because I think it will make the most difference. And so now sort of go over the esoteric or metaphysical aspects to that question. So back in 2010, I think, to 2012 or 13, I was having a few years there where I was having out-of-body experiences, crazy, like 5-6 nights a week for the entire time. And you go to places, spiritual realms, other existences, other realities that make this, they're so vibrant and so clear, it makes this reality seem not real. But it's more than that. It's just that they're so attractive, you almost want it to seem more real than this reality. So there's that part of it, but for most people that doesn't really apply. Through meditation, you can really develop a very expansive awareness and consciousness. And sometimes you get to the point where your awareness is so expansive that you almost are able to look down upon this entire reality, 3D reality, three-dimensional reality, as a construct from a place that you are not a part of, your true self is not a part of, and you come down into this reality and construct and have some experiences, and then return back to where you were, which is source. And so in that sense, this reality is illusion. But again, I don't think that's really practical for most people. I think when you have those spiritual experiences, it's less about the experience and more about how you integrate that experience. And so if you have those experiences, like in myself, where the, you know, out of body experiences where I would go to these places that were just so, you know, beautiful and incredible, or if you develop that awareness so expansive that you see this reality as a construct, how you integrate that in a healthy way, kind of, to integrate that in a healthy way, you have to, those experiences are supposed to give you a way to look at life so you do not take it so seriously. It's supposed to give you a way of looking at life that takes sort of the fear out of life, because you know more goes beyond than just what you see in front of you. It's supposed to give you some comfort, and it's supposed to give you a little bit more joy, because you can take life in more as a game rather than something excuse me, that's always going to be a struggle or always going to be difficult. So I think that is positive integration of spiritual experiences that make you see this life maybe perhaps as an illusion. I think if you don't integrate those experiences properly, you're almost going to sort of have a spiritual, suffer from a type of spiritual escapism, where you see this reality outside of you, and maybe you can go there in your dreams or your meditations or astral travel, and it's just, it seems so vibrant and so alive, but you see that as more spiritual. You can maybe see that as more spiritual than this, and you create a divide between the realities, but really, in truth, this reality here is just as spiritual and is just as real as any other reality. And this is where your primary point of consciousness is experience reality. So you want to be there, and you want to be here and with that, and not use the excuse that life is an illusion, not to engage in life and not to participate in life, and not to question what is the point of this, because if it's all not real, then why do I even have to bother doing anything, right? I think that's a distorted, unhealthy integration of having spiritual experiences, if that's how you come out of that, those experiences with that perception. So those are my thoughts on that question. Is life really an illusion? For most, I mean, it on a higher level, you can maybe look at it that way, but I think for most people, take that question and filter it according to what is grounded and real for you and what's going to help you enjoy life better. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching YouTube, and take care.